Chapter 6, Accountability versus Responsibility, and Chapter 7, Community Standards versus Individualized Rights, by Kristen Herring for EDLD 5413, Building Leader Internship, under Dr. Kimberly Wilkerson. Accountability in education began in 1978 in California with the proposition: taxpayers no longer wanted to pay for public schools. There are 10 measures of accountability, including political, legal, bureaucratic, professional, market accountabilities, parent, student, fiscal, personal forms, and public accountability. Accountability assists with making schools better, improving teacher lessons, improving school culture, increasing graduation rates, equitable distribution of resources, providing a checks and balances system within school budgets, making disparities in student achievement visible to all, and recognizing student strengths and weaknesses. Shapiro and Gross, 2013. School report cards are based on formative assessments, and these are used to determine the success of the school. Socioeconomic status, addiction problems in families, pollution, and criminal activity in the area are impactful factors that stakeholders do not consider when looking at school report cards. They do take into consideration school attendance rates, and SPED scores are a part of the school report cards as well. All students, including the SPED students, are expected to learn the standards. Shapiro and Gross, 2013. Responsibility begs for all stakeholders to be held accountable for the success of students, not just the schools. This includes taxpayers, legislatures, parents, teachers, administrators, and students. Shapiro and Gross, 2013. Case Study 6.3, Balancing Responsibility, Monitoring Attendance at School, and/or Being an Advocate for the Children. 3 children in an elementary school have excessive absences. The 2 older students had excessive absences, and the kindergartner had even more absences. Becky may be removed from kindergarten program because it is not a required program. The counselor called the mom to let her know that she would follow the school's attendance policy due to excessive absences and submit the information to the assistant superintendent, who would forward it to the attorney. She would need to discuss the school's policy with the mom, discuss the state's attendance policy with her, provide past letters that were sent home beginning at the 5th absence, and provide copies of doctor's notes that have been submitted. Teachers have reported complaints by children that were not fed breakfast, and the biological father of the kindergartner said mom had asked him for money for groceries. The family has been under the supervision of Children and Youth Services, and Lydia and Jack, the older students, had been removed but recently returned. Shapiro and Gross, 2013. There is light turbulence between the family and school at this time, but it could be increased if Miss O'Hara threatens the family. She and the principal could schedule a meeting with the parents to discuss the policy in person and say that upon the next absence, they will report to the assistant superintendent and to Children and Youth Services. If they call without warning, it may escalate the turbulence. The 2017 Arkansas Code Title VI, Education Subtitle II, Elementary and Secondary Education Generally, Chapter 18, Students, Subchapter 2, Attendance Code 6-18-209, Adoption of Student Attendance Policies, Effect of Unexcused Absences, is the law that covers attendance. All faculty and staff and administrators are mandated reporters of neglect, and so this should be reported in a timely manner. Mrs. O'Hara is blinded by her care for the children and not wanting them to be removed, but wanting the parents to step up and do their part. The law allows the school to create their attendance policy. I think that the standard law with number of dates would assist schools and families with consistency across the state. Mr. Shuey should do what is needed to care for his daughter, and it would be nice if he cared for the others as well. Mrs. O'Hara should report as she is supposed to, but also provide care by checking in to see what the family needs to ensure the kids will be in school and be able to eat. Individual rights. Students have the right to learn or not to learn. They have to make a choice to learn. With education, individuals have ability to give back to the community that they live in. They have the right to individuality, but they have to control their thoughts. Well, their thoughts are okay, but they have to control how they present those and where they present them. Wealthy families can choose where children will be educated, which may reduce the diverse experiences that are on school campuses. In the communities are made up of a variety of individuals from diverse backgrounds. Benefits of the community, there's benefits as individuals in the community learn, and the community suffers if individuals do not learn. Schools are made up of community members and teach individuals how to work together, which impacts life together. Charter schools and free public schools that give families an option in education may prevent students from becoming culturally relevant citizens. Shapiro and Cross, 2013. Community standards versus individual rights. One thing I noted is that checks and balances between the community and individuals is necessary for the two to not infringe on the rights of the other. Case study 7.1. The trouble with Joe. Is he a joker or a terrorist? Joe is a student known for continual behavior problems, including hostility, confrontation of students, leading to fights, and demoralizing the school faculty. The students fear Joe because of his explosive behavior towards them. Teachers perceive Joe as capable of achieving. Joe joined the technology club and began missing classes, which affected his grades. Ms. Ambrose, concerned about Joe's volatile behavior, continued to push Joe to get his work completed and attend class without a warning he would fail otherwise and be removed from the technology club. So she did her part. On his home computer, Joe developed a web page griping about the school's policy and threatening the teacher, and asking others to find someone on the hit list he created and take care of them. Shapiro and Cross, 2013. The principal's action and suspension in response to the threats made by Joe on his webpage was fast. Joe's individual right was lost when he made the threat to the people of the school community, and his comment that it was a joke was not to be considered. Due to the threat, Joe should not have been given time to defend himself. I do not believe alternative measures should be taken in place of his suspension. I believe that a counselor should be required to evaluate him before he returns to the school setting, and counseling should be mandatory. The ethics of profession expects the principal and teacher to educate Joe, but the social and emotional health that they experience may suffer out of fear for themselves and for others in the building. Joe is silenced in that he cannot defend himself. The faculty is silenced knowing he is able to return in just 3 days after making these threats. The families and students are able to speak, but their voices are not changing the punishment, so they may feel that they are also being silenced. Joe was punished for his off-campus behavior because he threatened and sought others to help him hurt teachers. Mahoney versus BL ruled that students lost their right to free speech when they make threats to teachers. Supreme Court of the United States, 2022. The level of turbulence in the school is severe and may move to extreme if parents continue to feel that their students are not safe on campus. The U.S. Supreme Court has the Mahoney case that set precedents. One option is an evaluation for alternative learning environment for Joe. Joe has not learned to control his violent behavior, which will impact his future job, family, and ultimately the community. It is necessary that the school assist him with learning self-control. Joe needs a referral for counseling services that can work with him on self-control.